everybody. Let's do straight off before we do anything else. Let's say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Emma. Happy birthday to...
Hang on. You.
I'm sure Emma feels extra special for that little moment you gave us at the end there, darling.
It's just for you, Ems.
Just for you, Ems.
Just for you, Ems.
Good morning, everybody. Actually, can I just do a big, like this for Mark, who is really struggling with his mental health today and actually over the last few days, still trying to adjust to the medication. And I think it's important to say that you are really struggling because you can look totally fine. Like so many people can who are struggling. He could look totally fine to you, but I know what's going on behind the scenes in his head.
And lots of people now query if I'm not being fine, none of you lot, because I'm on here. Isn't it funny how they operate?
There's millions of people on a daily basis going to work, having social interactions, going shopping, all struggling massively with their heads. Yeah. Just like there can be people in all kinds of physical pain that we don't see that push through and work through. And so, yeah.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you very much,
proud
darling.
Of you.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm very proud of you. There you go. Good morning. It's raining, says Disney Bride 2013. Is that how you feel? Going back to Nadia's ruby wax thing.
Yeah, just tell me, using the weather, how you're feeling. How are you feeling, Mark, using the weather?
Overcast and foggy.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm feeling... Oh, God, I don't know what I'm feeling. That's almost worse. What am I feeling?
Choppy.
I feel not dark black clouds, but grey clouds with pushing sun behind them, but you know it's not going to break through completely, but it's giving you just enough warmth.
You've almost painted a landscape. Clodagh Egan feels sunny. That's good. Emma Atkins feels cold. You see, there's this strange thing, isn't there? That if sunny, we presume you mean you're in a good mood. But you can like grey weather, and that puts you in a good mood, or a better mood. Do you know what I mean? Rainy and cold, says Susie Taylor. Elijah's, I'm foggy. Je regarde le film, cloudy and rainy.
Good morning, Tracy Wheeler, who is a new subscriber.
Hey,
welcome,
welcome. Rian Kemp, I'm feeling drizzly with a peak of sun through the clouds.
Oh, that's maybe me,
That's
Rian. I'm not quite drizzly, I'm just grey, light grey cloud.
Sophie Jane Matilda's feeling dead heat, stuffy and cloudy. Hazel Malbon, heavy-headed.
Well, Gabrielle's eating peanut butter on toast, so you're okay.
Oh, sorry, Gabrielle, I do apologise.
Ashley had my second jab yesterday, so not feeling 100% today, feeling great
Feeling
today.
great, oh, bless you.
Ashley, keep going with your workouts
so well.
and your weight loss. We're so proud of you.
Natasha Tyramos, snowstorms and twisters for me. That's a good one.
I like
That's
that.
a good one. A creatorholic on a hill with head in the grey clouds. These are incredibly poetic. This is lovely.
Stuart's suffering with his health anxiety. Our heart goes out to you.
Oh, Stuart, yeah.
We Mark and I swing for daily basis worrying about one thing or another about our health.
Creatorholic on a hill with head in the grey clouds.
I like
Very
that.
visual.
Very poetic. Layla, wintry with a dim glow.
Oh, yes.
I like dim
This is working
glow.
for me. I'm getting a real sense of what people are feeling.
Yeah,
Much better than good, bad.
If you're wondering why we're doing this, because you weren't on my
Yeah, do
Instagram a
explain.
minute ago and you weren't on our live a few weeks ago, Ruby Wax was on our show, and you know Ruby Wax is a trained psychologist and does amazing work with people and her own anxiety and everything. Anyway, so she was saying that we need to do a weather check. Instead of saying to each other, people, how are you? We should say, how's your weather? Because that's a way for people to access saying something about the way that they're feeling without being too explicit.
Emma Staples asking, is shit the weather? Good
Right,
question.
okay, Mark, turn shit into a weather.
A bad case of rumbling thunder. Rumbling thunder in the distance, followed by an enormous letting go of lightning.
Oh, you see, I would just say drizzle.
Well, that's just
Aye,
dribbly shit.
Shit, but if you think just drizzle, if you wanted to feel shit, you'd say
When you
drizzle.
go to the loo, it'd be hell.
Mark! No.
Where did the phrase "a council" come from?
Anita O'Reilly is on a sun lounger in Portugal. Are you actually, or is that your weather?
Oh, is that good question? Yeah, good question.
I've just made the most gorgeous banana fritters and they're over there and I don't know how I'm controlling myself.
I know.
They're going to be in the No Name Sunday show this Sunday, guys.
Shit, hurricane. There you go, Chan. Yeah, that's what you think.
Guys, can you hit the like button just underneath us so that we know you like us?
Emma Carter, low but getting better. So you have a sort of low pressure
And it's your birthday.
followed by high pressure.
Come on, you've got to get better.
Anastasia Alexandra, I'm feeling tense and apprehensive like the yellow sky and humidity before a big storm.
Oh, beautiful.
You're all poets. You should all be writers. Amelia Nicholson, I'm in bed with nasty side effects from my second Pfizer jab. Your Greek vlogs are getting me through.
Oh, I love that.
You've got our Norfolk vlogs landing extraordinarily soon. Natasha Milchan, I'm at a hotel in Limassol, yet feeling absolutely shit. Oh, where have you gone?
Oh, I love that. Emma Atkins.
Where have you gone? Hang on. Feeling absolutely shit as things haven't been working out at all. Oh, sorry, Natasha. Sorry, where are you?
Ali P, I'm waiting for my mother-in-law. She's bringing us Greg's sausage rolls, donuts and coffee.
Jesus.
I love your mother-in-law. What's her name? I need to send her love. Emma Atkins. I always hate the way that some people ask how you are. If you say anything that other than okay, they don't really want to know. Yeah.
My nan used to say that, which was she used to work in a corner shop. She said, oh, one of the things I hate, Marky, is when you ask someone how they are.
And they tell you.
Tell you.
I was horrified when
I know,
she
so was
said
I.
that.
Because I thought that meant she didn't really want to know how we
I
were.
always want to know more than people have told me.
Yeah, because is that because you know? Because you do. You want to know the human condition.
Yeah.
Does that make you a deeper person?
No, I just think it's people are interested in different things, and the thing I'm most interested in is people. It's just what you're interested in.
Yeah, you are. She's interested in people massively.
You're being sarcastic.
No, not at all. I'm saying that is what you are interested in. That's your thing. It's you're very creative in your friendships with people and understanding of people. Diana Frasser, I'm in the midst of a desert storm in the Sahara.
Oh, feeling
Beautiful,
so
feeling
overwhelmed. Oh,
but Diana Frasser, maybe there was something quite nice about articulating it like that. And I tell you what, one of the things they did used to say to me in rehab is try and sometimes, one of the things we often say to Kiki, as she's going back to school and stuff like that, is you don't have to write stuff and it be absolutely right at the point that you write it. I think there's a pressure on a lot of people to feel like if you do some kind of artistic expression, it's got to be perfect the first time. And if I'm no good at it, I shouldn't try it. But I tell you what, just write some stream of consciousness stuff today. This is like a little instruction, like the day I said, go and stand on some wet grass with no shoes on. Just do it. Just be creative. Just write something. Do you know what I mean? So write something creative about how you're feeling and without even the thought that anyone else is going to read it. You'll be surprised what you've got inside, guys.
You know what, as well, I think quite a good thing is to try and draw. Draw because nobody's looking at it, so it doesn't matter at all. You can't not say, I can't draw, but just try and draw. Think of that weather and then try and draw it. Like either in real detail, because it just takes you away from your head, it gets you into a mindful state.
Yeah.
Or just crazily and fast just to get it out. But for sure, when I watch our girls draw, you see them get away from what they're feeling is their overwhelming emotions. It's just, right from when you see a child colouring in, those things are really
That's
useful.
the point of art.
You're feeling really overwhelmed. Just remember, nobody has to see it. Because we talk too often, oh, I'm shit at art, oh, you're shit at art. Well, who says so? Because art can just be a way of you expressing how you feel. It doesn't have to be for somebody else to look at.
But the problem we have in this country is everyone gets a bit sniffy around the idea of creativity. Everyone says it's not important, it's a waste of time. My nan was like that, it's a waste of time, I don't understand it, it's pretentious, it's this, it's that. There's always reasons to not justify it. And I always go back to Ken Robinson, who said numeracy, literacy are important, but so too is creativity, and it should be given the same value. Yeah. And I think it's not just about creativity in order to succeed at something or earn something.
To succeed in as your soul, to help your soul.
Absolutely. There you go. Everyone write a paragraph, please, today. I'd like everyone in class.
Including how you're
including you,
feeling.
Rich Coulter, at the back of the class. I'd like you to write a paragraph too, yeah, and deliver
No,
it on
it's
time.
not sad, Sarah, if you want to try painting by numbers. It's not sad at all.
No, it's not.
Listen, there's a reason why all those colouring
Mindful.
books for adults have gone crazy and it's earned somebody millions of pounds somewhere because it's good for you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about what other people think. Those that mind don't matter. Those that matter don't mind.
Exactly.
Right, so if you've come for the news, we always like to have a bit of a chat first because, to be quite honest, the news is so overwhelming sometimes, isn't it, that we need a little bit of chat and how you are, nice cuppa. I haven't got a cuppa because I haven't got any milk. But yeah, so let's start, shall we, with Biden's speech
I was
last night.
flabbergasted last night.
We were watching it.
What did
and
you think of it? Tell us what you think whilst Nadia says.
we were trying to calibrate it, weren't we? We were so shocked.
Yeah.
But we both at the same point went, this is for his electorate. This is for the Trump supporters. That he was speaking to. He wasn't speaking
talking
to
to
the
any-
world.
no, he wasn't talking to
He wasn't
anyone.
speaking to the people of Afghanistan.
He was talking to his Americans.
Yeah. And my dad said, the problem is that, my dad has more insight, I suppose, from being, Arabic and understanding more the tribal behaviours. He said, you don't understand they don't understand these, because Biden did a lot about the Afghans didn't fight, blamed it all on the Afghans, the fact that there are people
Joe
stuck
Lister
and can't
says
be
sold the
getting out.
Afghans down the river. I was quite astonished.
So we actually couldn't believe it. My dad was saying, I said, well, Mum,
So just to clarify what Biden was saying before you explain this.
Go on, you do.
His suggestion was, if the
Arm
Afghani
them to the
army
hill.
want to fight for their freedom and their country, they should have done.
We've armed
But they didn't. We've armed them. We've trained them.
Yes.
They didn't. The president escaped. And, you can see how that's really going to work for the American population.
$1 trillion.
It's really going to work for the American population.
$1 trillion.
$1 trillion invested.
I'm not gonna go to another fight. And what we got to remember is
Yeah.
they haven't had arms in a fighting situation for a long time in Afghanistan. They're a peacekeeping corps,
Yeah.
like we are in Cyprus, like we are in Korea, like so many countries around the world. There are peacekeeping corps. We weren't in a fight.
Yeah.
And the way he spoke in that speech yesterday,
Got him. Don't worry, he's gone.
it kind of whipped people up. It felt like he was trying to whip people up
Yeah.
into this frenzy of, our boys mustn't be being killed anymore. Whereas that the situation is at the moment, that hasn't been the situation for a long time, has it?
No, not at all. And, it was just I was flabbergasted. I was flabbergasted because he was really terse. He didn't at all address the way in which, it's all right, we've got rid of Terry the troll. He didn't address at all the way in which they came out. This isn't about whether, there's a truism in the idea that
Exactly, Lucy Williams.
there's a truism in the idea that there was never going to be a right time to pull out. But he had to acknowledge that it was done in a most appalling way. They were caught on the hoof. They weren't aware. They gave everyone the dates. They did everything. Okay, he inherited a deal from Trump, but he had every capacity to make sure that this withdrawal happened better. And I think by paying no reference to it, he's going to alienate the rest of the world. But this is classic American politics. They've always returned to an attitude of insular protectionism. They're going to protect their population.
To have Afghanistan in the state that is in is not it's not good for anyone.
But I heard someone from Afghanistan on the radio yesterday saying you can't have your cake and eat it as a world player imperialist police officer, which is what America is.
Wow.
You can't say we'll have this influence on the world and essentially wash your hands of responsibility.
No, we're out now.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Carol Naismith, it was an angry speech. It was an angry speech because he didn't want to be blamed for anything there. But he was talking to the American, he wasn't thinking of the Afghan people. He wasn't thinking of the rest of the world. He was talking to his electorate and he was whipping up ignorance, actually. Ignorance.
No, I agree.
Because they're not in a battle. They weren't in a battle situation. And the way that he was selling the story, it was almost like he had to drag his soldiers out, because they were in the midst of battle.
No, absolutely.
And
And we have an irony now where there are more troops going in than there were troops there 5 minutes ago.
Nick Ferrari was saying this morning, he said, the thing is, we now have a situation in Afghanistan where terrorists that wish to harm the West will be able to sit openly in cafes and discuss it.
Exactly.
Because, you know, so how he can say we've got other problems that we have to think about in other parts of the world, which is what he said. Is he mad? You know, if Afghanistan is as unstable, even if you don't care about the people there and the dreadful suffering, what about the instability that is going to come from this?
Exactly.
Surely it's going to have ramifications for all of us.
And all, yeah.
Mark and I, we when we talk about it, we talk about that, but we're also, I mean, I'm very, very, you know, everything I read, I just can't stop thinking about those people that have been given an education now, that have been given a different life, and are being dragged out of cars. Women are being dragged out of cars for driving. Girls are being married off to soldiers, told that that's an honour. It's carnage.
And on the one hand, you've got the suggestion, you know, that, you know, the Taliban of today isn't going to be the Taliban of then, and then you've also at the same time got Taliban on the ground suggesting that they're going to, you know, return to, what's it called when you chop off an arm or chop off a hand? Amputation, all that kind of stuff. It's just appalling. So, you know, you've got this sort of PR campaign happening on one level, and then you've got the reality on the ground. And the reality on the ground, we're never really going to get an honest portrait of, because, of course, it's too dangerous for journalists.
Reem, very good point. And this was what they were talking about.
Yeah, where is the UN?
Where the hell is the UN?
Exactly. And just to illustrate how awful this sort of evacuation is, I don't know if anyone saw 640 desperate Afghanistanis on a plane, on an American plane, you know, Air Force plane, which had to take six times its payload. So it had 640 people on there. So the pilot made a really, really tricky and dangerous decision.
I've got goosebumps.
Yeah.
What a hero.
Yeah.
I mean, he risked his own life.
Exactly.
6 times the weight he should have. I mean, they must have known that it would be okay.
Yeah.
But there was a risk.
Absolutely.
And presumably there's risk that they could be shot down.
Absolutely, and risk that they would take off. So he must have judged it. 6 times the payload and got them out to Qatar, where they've landed, and presumably they're in a much safer place. Jenny Scam, I watched Good Morning Britain this morning. They were talking to a journalist who's in hiding. She said that maybe it's inevitable that she would be shot. So sad.
It's like that young mayor that I was talking about yesterday said, I'm just waiting here to be murdered. There's no way, you know, there's no way out.
Absolutely. Just awful.
Awful.
And, you know, oh, look, Reem AW, I'm Qatari. Have you heard about them all landing? 800 people on that place? I think 640. 640 we know, but the picture of them on the plane, look it up online, it's on the Sun.
Arriving in Qatar with nothing.
Yeah, 640.
What happens when they get there?
It's a cargo jet that was designed to carry 150. That's risky. That's risky. I guess they probably didn't carry as much fuel because they weren't flying so far. Horrible and difficult. People hanging on the plane, Nettie, 1696, I know, just awful. So going back to Biden, I think he's going to find himself alienated on the world stage, but I don't think he cares. And I think a lot of people are saying, I mean, look at this. This is the Sun's leader. Joe Biden, they say Joe Biden's speech last night will surely rank as one of the most shameful in presidential history.
Wow.
As chaos descended on Afghanistan, as desperation to flee, the carnage saw locals clutching to the fuselage. Sleepy Joe insisted this was all part of the plan. The buck stops with me, he said, after blaming Donald Trump, as well as the Afghan government. He threatened the Taliban with swift and devastating force. But the Sun says, hate to tell you, Mr. President, but the insurgents in Kabul don't really seem to care. He boasted of resettling 2,000 Afghan families as if it absolved him of blame for the many thousands more he's abandoned to their fate. He rounded off by styling himself as a leader who would brave criticism for his decisions.
Yeah, but that's he's talking to the Americans. They're going to love him for that.
Absolutely. I don't think it's going to have any impact.
Well, not all Americans. I mustn't say
no,
that.
Absolutely. But a lot of them.
So, do you not think he's talking to a lot of Trump supporters?
Yeah, potentially. He's looking at the midterm election, isn't he? Absolutely. So, let's have a look.
I'm haunted too, and that's the right word. I feel haunted by all of it.
Yeah, it's just awful. Loved Chi-Chi's new haircut. Oh, I know, doesn't she look sweet? Priti Patel's back in the news.
Oh my God, wait till you hear this one, guys.
Yeah.
Wait till you hear this one.
So Priti Patel wants to make an example out of middle-class cocaine users. There will be high-profile arrests. That means you're going down. I mean, so she's Home Secretary wants police forces to make an example of middle-class cocaine users. Now, there's a compelling argument here to say that a lot of middle-class drug users who see it as a kind of lifestyle choice don't think about the fact that what they're doing is part of an incredibly destructive, dangerous,
business
framework and network of exploitation and death.
But what
And then
is
as
their
soon as it lands on a table in, I don't know, Battersea, that's forgotten because everyone's wanting a good time. So I think that's you know, they're trying to play to the majority of the population.
I just think the optics on this are absolutely appalling because, as we all know, the situation, and especially through the pandemic, of children, you know, the whole county lines nightmare. It's now not just, it's all kinds of young people actually. Don't think it's just the child that's neglected and abused, because actually the grooming that's going on across all kinds of kids that get involved in this whole county lines hell. We watched a movie that nearly finished me off. I had to leave three-quarters of the way through because it was so awful.
And they're getting younger and
younger.
younger.
Apparently it's so true to life. When we've got, you know, terrible gang situation, a lot of innocent people being caught up in gangs because of where they unfortunately live and whatever. And really not enough being done to help. And then she comes out with this as the first port of call. I'm just like, the woman is tone deaf.
Yeah.
Now, if somewhere in there we're talking about the whole infrastructure and, you know, what we do here affects, you know, what's coming in. Okay, I get that. But don't make that your headline. Don't be on Sky News today discussing this. Tell us what you're going to do for those children that are in the most awful of situations, the most dangerous of situations, being bullied and physically and sexually abused by these gangs. Talk to us about that first.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, I think some people are saying it's a bit of a thinly veiled swipe at Michael Gove, who admitted he used cocaine at college. But a number of experts believe that the focus should remain on targeting violent drug gangs rather than trying to name and shame users.
I don't, if Henry's sticking it up his nose on his Chelsea kitchen table, really, he's all right. Do you know what I mean? I mean, let's think about the people that are really in a bad
And also, most of the violence around drug-related violence is related to dealing in crack and heroin. So there you go. That's the news from Priti
Inga
Patel.
Meze, high profile. What about fixing the gang drug problem that caused the drive-by shooting in Camden and opened fire? Oh, sorry. I think it's up a bit. And shot 4 people, including 73-year-old woman, all behind my house on Saturday night. Oh, Inga. Oh, you poor thing.
I heard about this.
Oh,
This spilled out of a party, didn't it? It's just awful. And Henderson, Priti Patel is part of the problem as there are not enough police to clamp down on county lines. I think you're right. I mean, I think one of the problems, you know, that is happening here, there aren't enough police to be able to maintain, you know, sort of calm and stability and safety on the streets. It's too endemic a problem. And I think you're right. I think going for the top end, going for the most sort of privileged, the Hurrah Henrys, is just, it's the wrong way. And I think it's more about appealing to an electorate. That's all it is.
Sarah Watkins, do you have recommendations for drinks for a bad cold flu? Oh, yes. So, can you get some fresh ginger? If you can get some fresh turmeric, get it. But if not, you can just use dry turmeric. But if you can't get any, don't miss out the turmeric. Lemon juice and honey and cinnamon sticks. Really nice. If you can't get cinnamon sticks, just ground cinnamon and just put it in water. Put it in boiling water. Bring it up to the bubble and then just let it steep. Just turn the heat off and let it steep for 5 minutes. So you can add as much honey if you want if you want it to be sweet.
Absolutely. Now, the other story we've got in the headline here is Bob Dylan being sued for allegedly sexually abusing a girl in 1965. And this is being brought against him under the same law that's being used against Prince Andrew. It's suggesting that at the Chelsea Hotel, he abused a 12-year-old girl over a period of a week. And the suit also accuses him of physically threatening the girl. Over a 6-week period. Good God, over a 6-week period between April and May 1965. Now, this lawsuit has been brought in, just one day before. I think you can bring this in. I think there is still even a statute of limitations on that law. So that is a story that is breaking.
God almighty.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
Absolutely. Don't get me started about Priti. Yeah, no, I know. Erin Bullimore, legalise drugs so people aren't getting involved with it. That's an interesting question. Do you think we should legalise drugs? Yes or no?
I don't know. I need to, because I know there's very strong arguments for it, isn't there? And I've never really looked at the strong arguments. So maybe that's a discussion we can have one day.
But I think, once again, it's in the grey area. I think some yes, others no. And I think it has to be...
Because if it did... the problem is, what I think is really wrong is when people who are users are criminalised.
Yeah.
When you put somebody in prison because they're an addict, that is the most pointless thing. It costs as much to put somebody into rehab, I would imagine, when you see what it costs in prison. Save the prison spaces for the dealers and for these appalling people that do these things, county lines thing. Mark, just explain what county lines is, because I keep saying it and people might not know what it is.
Well, county lines is where, kids are taken out from cities and they essentially move drugs around the rural, and when I say rural environments, it's like other towns and other, villages as well. I mean, they're taken out and they travel out and they travel back and they're given rewards to kind of essentially... So more and more drug pushing is happening outside of the city.
But many of them only rewarded at the beginning, and then there a terrible spiral of abuse. If you're interested in that, this film that we watched...
County Lines.
I mean, I have to put 1,000,000 trigger warnings in it because it is so real. It's like watching a documentary. But my God, if you want to be informed on what's going on, that's the film to watch.
That's the film for you. So there we go, guys. Anything else? Did you want to talk about something silly yesterday? There was something dry something or other, dry cleaning.
Oh, air drying.
Yeah,
okay, so
drying?
on Loose Women the other day, it was really funny. We had such a laugh.
Hi, Tim.
Judy and Katie Piper were talking about air drying. On a night out, when they're going on a night out, they'll have their shower, they'll have their bath, and then they don't use a towel at all. They air dry.
Right,
so they waft around naked, they lie on the bed naked, they open the windows, put the fans on, and they air dry. And it prepares them for their night out. And I thought it was the funniest thing. But apparently it's an absolutely dumb thing.
I sometimes do it. Not walk around the house, but I'll have a bath and I'll go and lie on the floor.
You've been air drying when I haven't known.
I'll lie on the floor and air dry. I quite like it. It's kind of like, I don't know why, it feels ecologically sound.
I don't have time for
Janice
air drying.
Muir,
It's
hello.
running late. I know, Rianne. I mean, it's like, who has time to air dry before a night out?
Gabrielle, I love fluffy towels.
Yeah, I do.
So do I.
Lisa Yaram, I thought you meant the chip fryer.
My nan loved fluffy towels, and then after a while they became rock hard.
My husband air dries as he's so hairy, says Deborah Holdsworth.
Really, I suppose it does help, doesn't it? Yeah. Nadia and Mark, my name is Lauren. Can I get a birthday song?
And Janice Muir, you can have a shout out. There you go, I've done it.
And Lauren, who's user 1, get a birthday song. Will not be for Wednesday. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday for Wednesday. Happy birthday to you.
Kiki SG says the towel is put on the bed first. Monta Conrad.
I'm going to try it.
Oh, here we
I'm
go.
going to do a film on it. I'm going to do an IGTV on air drying.
Oh, are you?
That would be funny.
I'll film that. Monta Conrad, I prefer rough towels as they exfoliate while drying.
But then you've got your skin on the towel.
So do you like a hard or a soft towel? Tell us, guys. Tell us in the comments below. Anyway, guys, have a lovely
Jane
day.
air dries after every shower. Oh, Faith Goodman's not here.
Anita Burke.
She was going to talk about air drying.
My husband likes a stiff towel. I bet he does.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I like
okay.
a stiff one followed by a fluffy one.
Don't say that in public, Nads.
Oh,
Guys.
it's sad. Oh, hang on, because it's her 60th. I saw you. Is your 61st?
Oh, Saab Turbo.
Saab Turbo. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Saab Turbo. Happy birthday to you.
Take great care, guys. Hit the like button if you've had a
Yeah,
laugh.
and if this is your first time with us, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it means you always know when we're uploading. Also, we have a members area, which is 50p a week that you can join. And if you do join, we always sing you a personal little song. And we have extra content over there. And we do an extra live where we give out cards.
Which are all going out, by the way.
Sunday show, which is like an hour and a half show every Sunday. So, and our members love it.
Yeah.
But you never need to feel pressure because there's plenty of stuff going on here
Yeah.
if you don't want to join the members.
All right, guys.
Lots of
of
love.